What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, we're going to talk about the new setup I got. Long story short, I kind of needed a tax write-off, so I figured go with the new truck or new trailer, and I opted in to go for a new trailer. So I figured I needed to up my numbers for my gross annual income, and one way to do it is obviously carry more in quantity and all that. Now, there was a point where I was thinking maybe doing a bed delete and getting a 3-car or trailer carrying unit. However, the problem with that, for me, in my opinion, being that my truck's a 2014, so it's a little bit older, I didn't want to push my truck down, put it in a position where it's going to be pushed to its limits. If I had a 2024, 2025, then obviously that would be a complete different, setup. However, I find it easier to operate this setup than it would be like a semi or a newer truck, just because everything at the end of the day comes down to the numbers. You go and pay $500 a month, or you go pay $1,500 a month for a truck on top of the insurance and all that. So it's a lot cheaper for me to have this and that combined as far as the cost of operation, and I make, obviously, as you can tell, double the money instead of having to go back and forth. I did rebadge my truck, so now I'm running numbers and all that, so I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. But yeah, so this is a 2014 Shipshe. I believe it's they call it a Shipshe Extreme or something like that. It's made by Forest River. It's 53 feet long from the back of the bumper all the way to the front of the gooseneck, and it's got about 40, on paper says about 46, up to 46 feet or 46 and a half feet of deck space. Now, I'm assuming it's the Stingers, what they're probably, saying up to, because this is adjustable. So you're able to kind of bring it out a little bit more. So if you're hauling 20-foot trailers, you're able to extend the tongue out right here, which, I don't know, maybe I'll give it a shot, but I'm a little skeptical on that just because I don't want to make a tight turn and next thing you know, I'm taking up my freaking tailgate and whatnot. So, but yeah, so I got two 16-foot Hallmark units, both brand new. Came out of Ogden. This one does have the short tongue. This one's got the extended tongue, so you can kind of see it. But yeah, that's the reason why I kind of wanted to get this trailer at the bare minimum, settle up, level up to this instead of the 3-car or whatever. I got a pretty good, I wouldn't say a good deal, but it was fair enough. I did have to do some work on this trailer, starting with purchasing 10-foot aluminum ramps. This trailer was picked up out of Las Vegas, Nevada, so I could have filmed it, but for whatever reason I didn't. This one's already got the ball towers, 3 sets of ball towers, 2 5/16s and 2-inch. Then this one's got a winch. I put a brand new battery, I put a brand new breakaway cable, and I tested it, so it's pretty much good to go. Check the brakes, all that stuff. It does have brand new set of tires on all 4 corners. This thing's rated for, I think the axles are 12,000 pounds a piece, so that puts me at 21-ish thousand pounds gross vehicle weight rating. However, it is badged, according to the manufacturer, it's badged for 18,000 pounds. So technically those axles are overkill, which is not a big deal. And then of course, this one does have the 5th wheel coupling. So this all had to get re-welded by the previous owner, which, I mean, it works for now, but I don't know, guys. I'm gonna probably send it in a fab shop and get it all dialed in, because I'm not too fan of the way they did it. And I know, like right here, right there, look, yeah, little things like that. I mean, it's not a big deal. Like I said, I'll send it in and get it all dialed in, but at the end of the day, it's, yeah. So, and finally, the Dodge finally hit 400,000 miles. Guys, that's kind of a big deal for me, because at 400,000 miles, I mean, you don't really know what to expect, and I'm still fingers crossing, but I'll let you guys in on a little secret. You guys want your truck to last, change your fluid sooner than recommended by the manufacturer. All your fluids. Rear differential, if you're towing a lot, do your rear differential. I do 80-90 weight on this one. I'm doing about 30,000 miles, no more than that. Front, same scenario with the front differential. Transfer case is about 40,000 miles. Transmissions every 40,000 miles with the ASRC fluid, not aftermarket fluid. Go with the OEM spec fluid. Everything's original on the truck. And engine wise, now you guys are gonna, you know, hate me for it, whatever, but at 404,000 miles, what I do for oil intervals on this one is every 5,000 miles. If I'm towing a little hot and heavy, maybe I'll switch down to 4, maybe 3,000 miles, depending on how soon and how dark the oil gets as I tow. So I know you guys are probably gonna freak out and think, you know, you're crazy for changing your oil. You're not supposed to, you know, go that soon. Well, you know, at the end of the day, that's what works for me, and that's why I keep doing it. You know, I always run my my exhaust brake is always on. Ever since I got the truck at 140 some thousand miles, it's always had the exhaust brake on. So it's original, the original turbo, original what's it called, the golly, whatever, the stupid thing that turns on the exhaust brake or whatever. Everything's pretty much original in the truck, and like I said, it's all, my opinion, I think it's mainly because I'm changing the intervals as far as the fluids go sooner than what the manufacturer recommends. And you know, that really goes long ways for a truck like this, especially when you're, you know, this is your bread and butter, you know what I mean? This is what brings you your money or whatever. But yeah, same scenario with the trailer, guys. I mean, I'm just getting to know the trailer. I mean, obviously it's got surface rust and whatnot. It came out of the before it landed in Vegas, it was actually out in the Indiana area, hence Bennett. So this one was originally doing what it's doing right now. So aside of pulling trailers, I am going to start getting into car hauling because the rates have gone up a little bit. Nothing crazy, but I figured if I can stack up on 2, that's decent enough. Maybe go down from Washington State down to Vegas or Arizona, and then, you know, offload 2 and pick up 2 and come right back up. So yeah, but I'm really having my thoughts on, maybe not now, but sooner or later, maybe going down to Dave's Auto Center over in Salt Lake City area, and maybe just having the either engine rebuilt all the way or at least checked out, maybe throw a monster engine in it. If not, maybe buy another truck, something that's within 4 years of where we're currently at in 2025. I don't really think I should buy a brand new truck. I don't think it's a smart investment, mainly because of the numbers. I mean, I put 100,000 miles in a year, so go figure, guys. That's how I racked up the miles on this one. And between me and you guys, I mean, I'd like to go 1 million miles with her, and I've heard people go 1 million miles, and if I can go 1 million miles with her, that would be awesome. That'd be a good story to tell. I think another main reason why the truck's lasted so long is because I'm able to find ways to keep my temperatures on all my fluids down, aside of changing them consistently, so that way the viscosity and all that stuff you know, wears in the way it's supposed to, and then obviously you cycle it out. You know, going up the hills, I'm not doing, you know, like for instance right now that I'm loaded up, I'm not doing like 60 miles an hour climbing up a hill. You know, I'm doing 35, 40 miles an hour with my 4-ways on. I turn on my heat. With my heat turned on, you know, it cycles out the heat from the engine bay. So that's why I think, you know, my engine's probably, you know, I wouldn't say it's the healthiest, but I think it's got a lot more life left than what I think, because I mean, I don't know, it just makes more sense to me as far as, you know, temperatures and how consistent I cycle out the fluid. And that's a big deal. I'll always repeat it over and over and over, but that's kind of a big deal, guys. You guys want your truck to last, you need to cycle out your oils on every component, from the rear differential all the way to your engine oil, your front differential, transfer case, transmission, everything. Not to mention, my fuel injectors are also original. I do run Hot Shot Secret EDT, which is the everyday treatment, every other full tank fill up. And I do fuel up at Mavericks, which have clean diesel, Love's Truck Stop, which also have clean diesel, and Sinclair's. They have the Dyno Care. But, you know, like I said, every other second fill up or whatever, full tank, I'll just run, you know, about this much of, or whatever the additive is required, depending on the amount of gallons. But it's about this much of EDT from Hot Shot Secrets. And I mean, I can't say I don't notice the difference, but I mean, the injectors aren't lazy. I mean, they giddy up and go. But again, I don't push the truck hard. I mean, granted, it looks like I am, but come on, guys, the trailer by itself weighs 6,000 pounds. This weighs about 2,600 pounds. I think this one weighs about 2,300 pounds. So I mean, really, you combine all the mathematical stuff, and you know, you got 6, another probably 8,500 total out here, then another, I'm right underneath like 13,000 pounds is what I'm trying to underline here. Now, of course, you know, you got to count the weight of the truck. That's another, what, 7,000 pounds. So, I mean, yeah, I'm about, I would say, roughly about 22, maybe 20,000 pounds overall. It just kind of depends on, you know, how I load it up and what I carry. But anyways, my case in point is I'm not pushing the truck hard, guys. Every 3 hours I stop, give it a 10-20 minute break, let the fluid temperatures go back down, let the engine cycle the heat from the fluid, and then allow the fluid to cycle the heat from the engine bay. And of course, you know, as I'm idling, I know it's a bad thing to do, but I do run my heat, the heater, so that way the heater core gets all the heat out or whatever. It's just repetitive stuff, guys. I mean, it just, you got to make it make sense, guys. You can't just idle your truck for, you know, just because you just feel like idling your truck and not realizing that, you know, you got to expose your heat or whatever outside of the engine bay. That's why you guys see me a lot with the hood popped open, because I like to, you know, bring out the heat. Especially today, it's 93 degrees, guys. I mean, yeah, you definitely want that heat away from your engine bay. And for the most part, you know, that's just what it is. So anyways, I just wanted to run down and touch base with you guys. I haven't been, you know, filming. I've just been kind of steady focusing on trying to get this thing dialed in. But yeah, that's the update, guys. If you guys have questions as to how you can make your truck last longer, dial in with me, man. I mean, I'm always looking. I know there's guys that want to get in a hot shot, and you know, there's always ways of getting in it, and there's a lot of things that you could do and a lot of things that you shouldn't do. But anyways, that pretty much wraps up the video, guys. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. I just wanted to update you guys as to what's going on. And yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys find this useful, hit the thumbs up button, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if there's anything you guys would like to know. And with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. May the Lord bless you, and I will catch you on the next one.